Hello, Chad! And welcome to a brand new Roomba of Thought. We are on the week of the 17th of November. I bought a ticket for the lottery last week for the 15th. I got nothing! So we'll keep on the grind! Say hello to the rest. Hello, rest.
Hello. You have picked
Hello.
the statistically most likely outcome.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be shitty if you had like one especially bad lottery number where you owed the government extra money.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would
I mean,
be...
the lottery's already bad at probability tax.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the reason why. It's because when the whole like talk with my parents happened, I was very down. I was like, well, maybe this will cheer me up if I get it. If I get anything from it.
Nope.
No.
Never. Just don't expect you to get anything.
Let's go gambling!
Ah, dang it.
Aw, dang it.
Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it.
Bang up to.
Oh, how's everyone's week been?
It's been fine. It's just a normal week. Just been looking for jobs. I've sent an application to many, but none have responded back.
Actually got a larger number of responses back this week than I usually do. They were all no, but still, they actually reached out to tell me they weren't picking me to progress on in the process. Most people just
put in their
ghost
thoughts.
me.
Ooh.
It's not even like it's corporate ghosting them out. They don't have the budget to send an email. No, it's the fucking government. All
Oh,
my applications are to the government.
that's cringe.
Applying to jobs in the government.
Well, that's cringe by the government.
At least they said no instead of nothing.
Yeah. It's not like the time I reached out with a question to the local police department as I was trying to like do applications for them. And then they just never responded. Damn. I guess you don't want to fill any of those positions you're hiring for them.
I guess you don't want to hire fill in those positions you're always saying that you need filled in.
To be fair, the main thing all the police departments always say they need for is uniformed officers, which is like the one position I'm not applying for.
But a lot of places are like, we're always
Then hire
Hire
people.
staff.
then hire people, but as soon as you go in for the interview, you are a retail job.
What do you mean? You're not what I'm not what you're looking for.
I'm not qualified. This job is literally just pick shit up and put it down somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Very.
But I guess always has to do, especially if it's like a franchise job. Like, I'll give my example. Place I work at. We're gonna UPS.
You work at the oops.
Yeah, at the hoops.
At the oopsie daisy.
There's another franchise that's actually closer to where my house actually is. But if you apply for there, they don't open. They're not hiring, right? So when I got to this one, they were like, "Oh, that's fine. We'll take 4 stable employees. That's perfect. Take that. Sick. Okay." So I did that, and we're pretty good with them. The problem is that every now and again we'll get a customer who says, "Hey, I'm calling from the UPS at this location, and I want to know if you guys are open." And I'm like, "Yeah, so sir, we're open from 8:30 to 7 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna come over there then because I'm still at this location and it says that they're closed for lunch, which means they don't have enough employees to keep one employee in the store for lunch,
Whack.
but they're not hiring."
That's weird.
Failure on their part. Anyway,
So how
that's
is
first on the inbox.
hold on, wait. Has everyone said how their week has been?
No, I haven't gone around it. Mine was alright. There was, the city had a little job fair thing, in my area, so I went to that. There was people standing around doing things. Nothing really too big of a, unexpected. I wasn't expecting that. But sort of the same thing. There was one thing I got that's like, I should look into that. That's like the surveyors there, and apparently they have internships. I'm trying to find that on their website. I wouldn't be opposed to like doing an internship as a surveyor. That'd be interesting.
Yep.
You just stand around and hold a stick while someone else uses a laser.
Lasers are funny.
Other than that, not much. Yeah.
What about you, Floofy boy?
My week has been fine. I've just been binge chilling all the time.
Bing chilling?
Yes.
Photos
Binge
painted? Photos painted? God, that's such a stupid meme. You got the photos printed? Photos painted? But yeah, no, my week has been pretty normal. I suplexed a train on stream.
But you did what?
You heard him, he suplexed a train on stream.
On
How?
Final Fantasy.
Shenanigans?
Yeah, Final Fantasy shenanigans.
Okay.
On Final Fantasy
okay.
VI, there's a boss called Phantom Train, and one of the characters you have is a monk, and one of the moves is called the Meteor Strike, which is more or less just a suplex move. And if you do the inputs, you can suplex a train. And I
You know something funny
suplexed
about
a
that,
train.
Jimmy, you wanna know something funny?
Yeah?
That used to be actually a glitch, but it was such a fan favorite thing they decided, let's just, they took that W.
I mean, it's a funny one.
Then
This
again,
this
using
character,
Phoenix Down just instantly kills the boss.
by the way, this can also just this character can also shoot Kamehameha blasts off his hands.
Yep.
Character sounds actually like a map.
What?
You said from his hands?
Yeah, from his hands, like a Kamehameha.
Yeah, Kamehameha.
Yeah,
I'm like, I hope it's from his hands. I don't know where the hell he would shoot.
his mouth.
His mouth?
I'm a fire, Melissa. Oh, we've got Larias. There is a Lariat on the loose. Hold on, wait. I think they found it. Yeah, I've been sorry. It's just randomly we've been in the game in the world right now. We've been trying to find Larias and Larias, and we just found Larias.
Pilates.
Yeah, the twins. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I see it. But yeah, it's such a funny moment. That game's amazing. I love Final Fantasy VI. I haven't actually finished Final Fantasy VI. But that's the thing is, that's been mostly what's been happening with me with most of the Final Fantasy games. I've just been unable to finish them until until I started the retrospective. Like I had a hard time finishing the games.
It's always hard to like finish a Final Fantasy game
Yep.
because the late game is always crazy. Like
Yeah, crazy grind, dude.
this is when things happen.
Alright, I guess idea box time now.
Idea box. Alright. So the first thing here is from Jimmy. Video game music that still puts you on edge or gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Oh yeah, I think this was because I was. Yeah, I think this was a thing that we did when we were on D&D that I put on the fucking when you put the Old Chateau theme, Mina. And I was like, ugh, I don't like the song. And then I realized, I wonder if anyone else has that problem with me, you know.
There are certain video game music that gets me out, but the one video game song that fucks me up, even though I've never played it, is the error sound from the Game Boy camera.
That's oddly specific.
Actually, I haven't had it, I believe.
The Game Boy,
Turn frame on.
the Game Boy camera is an add-on, right?
Camera used to be the smallest camera on Earth. It's an add-on. It came with the printer, but it had games on it still because it's still Nintendo.
Yeah.
And every now and again, it would give you an option to run.
Mm-hmm.
And when you push the run button, it's supposed to play a minigame. But sometimes it would give you the error screen that says, "Who are you running from?" With one of the developers edited in the camera.
Huh?
It was talked about on Creepy Gaming. Let me see if I can pull it up.
That's funny. They're unsettling, but kind of funny.
Like the faces themselves are pretty funny. But when you got that error screen, it was basically an early jump scare.
Makes sense.
It came out with a couple error screens. The images.
I forget which game it was, but they had an error that was like a not ass error or something like that. The developers trying to thought it was funny, so they had an error message for that where it was a picture of one of the devs moving. And they thought, oh yeah, it's funny, nothing, because it was almost something to come up with like modding the game anyway. But like the rating agency found it and re-rated the game to adults only.
Yup.
I think it was, so they had to go in and remove it
That's
to get it redone.
that's annoying.
Okay,
They
yeah,
flew
that
too
sounds
close to
scary.
the sun.
And got burnt.
That's a cursed error screen. Oh my god.
Yup.
Imagine you play that in the middle of the night.
You can't really play Game Boy games in the middle of the night because they didn't have that.
Oh, it was one of the Halo games. It was Halo 2.
Wait, what? Oh, hey, Halo! We were talking about that yesterday.
.ass on the Halopedia is a source file type. And it's used basically as part of the generating stuff. The .ass error was a glitch in the Halo 2 development software caused by an artist attempting to import non-uniformly scaled map geometry. The error message came attached with an image of one of Bungie's lead engineers with an uncovered backside. The photo was taken during a visit to Bungie's offices by Microsoft CEO. During the visit, the engineer mooned an unaware someone with a camera set up. Image-o within Bungie with photos printed and posted on the Microsoft campus, only a few knowing the origin of the joke. When the .ass error became an issue, the image was attached to the error message for the issue, and later uncovered by Microsoft GOps team during the production of Halo 2 for the Windows Vista.
Oh my god.
As a result of the issue, the SRB threatened to fine Microsoft due to the presence of nudity in the game, forcing Microsoft to delay the game's release and the game's ESRB information could be updated to include partial nudity alongside the existing warnings of violence, gore, etc. This delay cost the company as much as $500,000 and resulted in some Microsoft employees being fired, although no one at Bungie was fired. This subsequently made Bungie a lot more serious internally. Halo 2 for Windows Vista shipped with the error, though the image was removed in the game's first patch.
That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I remember one that my sister always tells me that puts her always on edge because she has who here has played Gen 3? Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Nope.
Okay, so basically she was always put on edge by the battle against the legendary trio, the Weather Trio. Because imagine being like an 8-year-old on your bed playing on your GBA SP. So she can't play it at night because of the backlit screen. And hearing dun, dun, dun.
Oh god.
Yeah, that.
Sent the 8-year-old to fight God.
Basically. But yeah, she always told me that song put her on edge. I think for me it's I think the one that has always like the first one that got me like in that state, it's the old Chateau or Wayback Cavern from Diamond and Pearl. That shit's scary. It's spooky. It's very spooky. I do not like it. Like, it's very good for a spooky song, but my god. I feel like I've been sanitized from Lavender Town specifically because, you know, you hear it literally everywhere.
If it's in the middle of the night, I do get.
Still, I've been, when I...
You freaked out if Lavender Town did start playing in the middle of the night when I'm like.
I mean, let's be real. If you randomly started hearing active music in real life, you would be freaked out regardless of what it was. It could be the freaking YMCA song if it just came out of nowhere.
I was thinking...
I could be extra freaked out. It was the fucking Tiny Tim song because there was like a whole creepypasta about this one monster that just naturally emits Tiny Tim music.
You know, that sounds like an SCP.
I was about to say, that sounds like an
this
SCP.
This random monster causes background music, and it's exclusively Happy Birthday.
No, the name of the creepypasta was called the Harbinger Experiment. And this person was writing the entire pasta, according to them, because they could hear Tiny Tim living in the sunlight outside their window.
Oh god.
Back.
But yeah, I put the Game Boy camera down. You want to give that. So to hear that fucking sound with one of those faces, it freaked me out. The sound itself freaks me out.
Understandable. Oh my god.
It's wild. I still think it's wild that they're making that they made a fucking camera for the Game Boy.
They made a whole different DS to put a camera in the DS.
True. And it was kind of shit, but it's a funny novelty.
My brother made his first stop motion stuff.
That's cool. That's kind of cool.
One of my favorite things with Lego is they actually use like Lego stop motion as a reference, like that fans made to like inform them of how they should make the characters move.
That's kind of funny.
Because the whole Lego movie is entirely computer animated, but it's designed to look like it's stop motion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And one of the actually parts of that is you can pause at any point. There's basically just never any motion blur in that movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's supposed to be stop motion. Stop motion obviously doesn't have motion blur.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh, speaking of, I saw apparently they put out a Wallace and Gromit thing, and apparently they used the last of their clay for that.
I believe they've actually been able to find a new producer for their clay for it, so the studio is continuing.
Oh,
Argent Studios is not shutting down.
That's good.
That's cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
We like it when studios don't shut down unless they're asshole studios like Ubisoft!
Speaking of Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, oh god, how I
The other
hate
thing,
them.
by the way, on the Lego movie for the level of detail in that movie, apparently, at one point in the development cycle of that movie, the animators legitimately considered adding correct serial numbers to all the Lego pieces.
Correct what?
Serial numbers.
Serial numbers.
They'd go in and put serial numbers on all the pieces in the animation.
That sounds kind of complicated for no reason.
It's not a
As
super
in, like,
complicated thing, it's a texture, but if it's in-world serial numbers, they create their own serial numbers, well, that's kind of sick.
It's more that they were considered doing that. It's like, no, that's a level of detail that's just too asinine. No one would be able to see that.
I mean, fair
Especially
enough.
them tend to be printed somewhere where they're not very easy to see anyway.
Like on the inside of the leg?
Well, for example, your standard Lego brick, I'm pretty sure, generally has it printed on the underside, like inside the brick.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where it would be on the actual minifigure pieces. Might be inside the leg somewhere. I don't know where it would be on the minifigure.
How many Lego pieces do you think are just on Earth right now?
Or just what?
On Earth.
Billions.
Yes.
More than there are ants or more than there are people?
More than there are people.
I agree with me.
easily more than there are people. I don't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure if there are more than there are hands. There might be, but I'm not sure.
Hopefully one day
Ants.
it'll be more than there are mosquitoes because there's none.
They are infinite.
I
while
do
ago,
know one of
they
the
started
funny
making-
things though is that Lego is by number technically the world's largest producer of tires.
But
That's not even a joke. That's just a real trivia fact.
that's why I said
Because Yeah, because Lego tires are technically they're made of rubber and they're tiny tires, and
And
Lego
they're
makes
chewy.
more of them than every other tire manufacturer on the planet.
Anyways, about the mosquitoes thing, I know that they started making, a while ago, they started research to making sterile mosquitoes to mix with the general population, so that there's fewer and fewer mosquitoes in area where they're around.
Oh.
Everyone out here being like,
Interesting
oh
take.
yeah, conservation, and then there's fucking mosquitoes where humans are legitimately doing research to see if we can exterminate them without causing a negative impact on the environment. Because fuck them, that's why.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers went around
They have
for
to
now.
go
I
down
hate
then.
We're
them.
dinosaurs.
They have to die.
The war on mosquitoes is on.
The war on mosquitoes never
Anyway.
ends.
Malaria, Ebola, what else could fucking get from mosquitoes?
Basically every
Oh.
bloodborne disease.
Yeah.
I think there's like a fever type, like a yellow fever.
Mhm. Also, going back to Ubisoft for a second, because that was mentioned. Did you guys know that they're getting a lawsuit?
I've
They're
heard of
getting
it.
a lawsuit?
There's a Ubisoft facing lawsuit over shutting down Always Online game.
Oh yeah, the crew. I think we've
Yeah.
talked about this.
2 people in California have filed a lawsuit against Ubisoft after the company turned off servers in 2014's The Crew, an open-world racing game released on PS4 and Xbox One, making it impossible to play the game.
Tweets them right, honestly.
Always
I hope they
online
win.
single-player games be like,
In 2014, Ubisoft launched The Crew as an open-world online racing game with a campaign and multiplayer mode. It was a fairly successful game for Ubisoft, spawning 2 sequels, The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest. But in December 2023, Ubisoft suddenly delisted the racing game from digital stores, and in April 2024, completely shut off its servers. This means that even if you have a physical copy of the game, you can no longer play it. Now, 2 gamers in the United States who weren't happy about this are filing a lawsuit against Ubisoft. As reported by Polygon, on November 4th, Matthew Cassell and Alan Liu filed a lawsuit in federal court. The main complaint of the recently filed lawsuit is that the 2 plaintiffs believe Ubisoft has duped consumers by telling them they are buying a game, when in reality they are only renting a limited license. The lawsuit also says that Ubisoft rubbed salt on the wound by not making the single-player portion of the Prey playable offline.
always online single player is one of the worst things to ever be added to games.
It's a dumb thing to have to do. Even Splatoon doesn't do that.
Cringe as hell.
Yeah, Ubisoft lately anyways has a lot of L's, to be honest.
Yep. I'm hearing that they might also shut down the crew too.
It's crazy, honestly.
And stupid.
I want to talk
Oh,
about
they're looking to make
another L that's been
comeback?
taken recently. What was that?
They're looking to make it a class action lawsuit. That's crazy.
Let's go!
For those who aren't aware,
Ubisoft.
For those who aren't aware, class action lawsuits are for anyone who is considered to be affected by it. So let's say, in my case, my university has a class action lawsuit against it.
Wait,
Because
it
they
does?
charged us laboratory fees while we were in a pandemic, and no one could access the laboratory.
What?
Wow.
It's a class action lawsuit where anyone who is considered damaged, i.e. me as a student, even though I personally did not file for the lawsuit, am entitled to compensation.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah. Think of the mesothelioma commercials. Anyone who has mesothelioma and was affected by this drug is entitled to get
Compensation. That was like every third ad on TV for a while.
This was such a big problem. But now, if they try to open up this Ubisoft thing to a class action settlement, any gamer who has purchased and lost access to
The
the
crew?
crew is entitled to compensation from Ubisoft.
I wanted to get the crew, but I didn't. I know I can't
You
access
had
it.
read
Luckily.
in time before 23.
Yeah, I assume that, you know, I wouldn't be able to join, but even then it's just kind of annoying that I...
This person said, imagine you buy a pinball machine and years later you enter your den to go play it, only to discover that all of the paddles are missing, the pinball and the bumpers are gone, and the monitor that proudly displayed your unassailable high score is removed, explains the lawsuit. Turns out the pinball manufacturer decided to come into your home, gut the insides of the machine, and remove your ability to play the game that you bought and thought you wanted.
I hope they have a success with the
There
lawsuit.
is a group looking for petition signatures to force European Union lawmakers to address the issue directly. So I'll go ahead and put that in the images board. Oh, Sonic CD.
Yeah, I want to say that also video game music which scares me is Sonic City the secret message. If you put in the sound
secret, yeah.
things, yeah.
Apparently that's only with the American soundtrack that sound comes on. The Japanese soundtrack is very different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the American and the...
Didn't know about it.
Let me see.
Yeah, it scares me. Like as soon as I hear that, oh my god. With
Yeah, it is
Sonic with
kinda-
the weird face and the message.
Someone made a mix of like Big Shot with I think one of the Sonic CDs
Ooh.
with that weird creepy face
Oh, with the Mario.
with that funny face.
Yeah. So this is the one you're hearing in the Spooky Sonic, Majin Sonic, is the American boss music. In the Japanese, it sounds like this.
Wow! Oh my god, this is an entire different feel.
It's an entirely different one.
So in Japan they just said turn it up. Let's go.
Yeah, like
America,
Japanese
boom music.
Sonic CD Sonic CD in Japan has some banger music. Everyone knows Stardust Speedway, Bad Future.
No, it's
Oh,
only
wait.
I think the plot music that
Today's
was
the
changed.
birthday of Left 4 Dead 2.
What?
Apparently it's the anniversary of the release of Left 4 Dead 2,
Oh, let's go.
That Tuesday.
which is the only Valve game anniversary that happened.
Right.
Yeah, true. Half-Life.
Uh,
Valve can't count more than 3.
Second one. We will get to that later though with Half-Life.
I mean, we could do that now.
Yeah, we could go ahead, yeah.
We enjoy
Half-Life 2
Half-Life.
is one of my favorite games.
I need to play
So
Half-Life.
This week was the 20th birthday of Half-Life 2. They had a day where you could play it for free on Steam, so I did that. They also, after 20 years, Half-Life 2 has Steam Workshop support.
Which means finally mods are not that hard anymore to download.
Yeah.
Finally. Finally I can have the intro where Achievement says to you, fuck you, and then you suddenly spawn into the train.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's
I
just
see people saying that should become a thing, like a mod. It's like the other thing that I've seen is people retexturing the Gordon suit to be like other things.
Oh yeah, that's a WhatsApp.
They
I've
call it
already
brand.
seen it in workshop. It's crazy.
I saw one that was like big lime green.
Ew.
There is it. There it is. Go fuck yourself, G-Man in the Steam Workshop. It's so good.
That's so good.
It's like, damn, it only took Valve
Wait, can
20
I-
years. This is like some real TF2 development time frame.
Yeah. You know, 20 years is a good time for Valve.
Apparently, yeah.
A late W, one could say.
But a W nonetheless.
New follower.
What?
Oh.
Oh, hi, Raspberry Pi. Yes, this is live.
Anyway, I mentioned there was someone taking an L we needed to talk about.
Yes.
So,
Who is it this
so
time?
as part of they were doing like a promotion thing. This is the context for this. So the Joint Program Office in charge of the F-35 Lightning II program, the American 5th generation stealth fighter.
Uh-huh.
So they were putting out a PR piece, you know, for like Veterans Day or something. And they needed for that a photo of their airplane.
Uh-huh.
So they used an AI generated photo instead of one of the many real photos of their airplane.
Why?
And the thing is, it's incredibly obvious that they did this. Because it has the wrong number of engines.
Oh.
Brother!
Oof.
Why?
But why? Yeah, why? Like, why do you use
It's
AI?
your fucking plane!
Wanna hire photographers?
It's not even like it's not even like they're cheating some arts or whatever. It's like, you have thousands of pictures of your own plane you could use. Hell, this is the people in charge of the plane. They could send someone out with a camera and take a new picture of the plane.
How lazy can one be? This is crazy, honestly.
Very apparently.
It's like, bruh, it's almost as bad as all the times, like, the U.S. political parties put out some political stuff. It's like, oh yeah, let's go U.S. Navy, and they post a picture of a Russian warship. Which has happened at least twice.
You know what this reminds me of? Speaking of AI, do you know who else did an AI thing?
No.
Coca-Cola!
Damn.
Coca-Cola's, Grimace, commercial was made by AI.
Range.
The death of good marketing has started. Rest in peace.
Good marketing's
It
gone.
used to be. Back in my day, they hired animators to make. They hired animators to make ads of the guy
Yeah.
walking in on the naked M&M.
Yeah, that's true. It's real
I'm not
quality.
kidding. One of my professors worked on that commercial, and he
Oh,
said
you
in order-
worked on it.
he worked on it, and he told me that when they had the guy walk into the green M&M's trailer, instead for him to, you know, get the correct reaction because he was a terrible actor, they just posted porn all over the wall.
Damn.
Oh my
We
god.
just saw like a shit ton of porn on the wall, and that's the face that he was making in this commercial. I'll pull it up right now.
Oh, that's,
See,
that,
a
that,
proper
that-
strategy compared to AI,
that-
you know?
That's like the Germans to get the tire tankers actually read the fucking manual. Put like pictures of naked women on every like so many pages.
So they keep the attention.
So the crews would actually read the fucking manual.
Yeah, okay, actually, smart move, honestly.
I found it. There's the commercial.
If I go in my trusty little Absol.
Eminem trailer 2001.
Oh my god, it's from more than 20 years.
It's older than Half-Life 2.
It's older than
Yeah, it
some
is.
of you!
Yes.
Me.
The child. Oh my god, Jimmy. You weren't kidding when you said you had a tiny Absol in your Pixelmon. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
she's small.
Comically small. Comically small mount.
I can also ride my Chucho, my Entei.
Reminds me of Radan from Elden Ring that rides on a small horse even though he's a fucking giant.
Next up is the Russia segment, if we want to do that now.
The Russians.
Let's laugh at Russia.
Yes. Let's definitely start by laughing at Russia. Because, so, to start us off, apparently, the Russians featured at some Chinese air show.
Okay.
Where they were showing off their, how incredibly OP, their Su-57 Felon, their Wunderweapon, so-called 5th generation stealth fighter, so-called stealth fighter, which is it's a real wonder weapon because everyone wonders why the fuck it's not on the battlefield. And as part of this, they had like a stat card they had that they were advertising, which I've included in the idea box if you all want to look at it. It's under the
Yeah,
sport.
I'm looking at it.
And it's going on and on about its incredible features. However, one of them stands out on the stat card, which I'm pretty sure is a typo. But knowing the Russians, actually, no, I'm confident it is a typo, because even the Russians can't be this bad, okay? Because according to the stat card, the range of this aircraft, of this so-called 5th generation stealth fighter, with 2 in-air refuelings, is 7,800 meters.
What?
That's 7 kilometers. What?
With 2 in-air refuelings.
What?
Okay, crazy, honestly, huh?
That's like.
Best fighter in the world. Kappa.
I assume it's supposed to be kilometers, but there's no K. There's only the M.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
forgot.
they made an oopsie.
7,800 meters. Let's go. Sounds like the best aircraft there is.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure how comically terrible range that is.
That sounds
I'm
like
pretty
they're riding
sure
a
like the
Mongol.
World War II rocket-powered interceptors, whose main drawback was their range was like 0, have better range than that.
That's whack.
Them with their all of 2 minutes of fuel, if that.
They won't get the Chinese investors with this one. Rest in peace.
Or they will, because the Chinese will be like, oh no, bad range, we gotta make it better.
Chinese already have their own off-brand stealth fighter.
Anyway, I was
By
gonna
all
say something
accounts-
and-
What was that, Mina?
I was gonna say something and then I completely forgot.
Oh, damn. Yeah, by all accounts, the Chinese have their own stealth fighter that might actually be a bit stealthier than the Russian one, but apparently has issues with plastics somewhere involved in the exhaust system for the engines.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
Because, you know, using plastics in an afterburner seems like a good idea.
Baby cooking not.
They'd be cooking meth.
They are cooking the
Maybe
rarest.
no-
They are cooking the rarest of steaks. The mist steak.
So freaking apparently at the air show, one of the things they did as well as they had the plane pull the Cobra maneuver, which is one of Russia's signature things. Was, oh yeah, look how cool and maneuverable we are. And it's like a thing where it's supposed to be, oh yeah, close-up dogfight, we can do this. At the enemy to overshoot and end up behind them. Lamau, the Americans can't do that. Look how much better we are. And the Americans like, yeah, you're right. We can't do that. Instead, we just have the ability to shoot missiles backwards. We don't need to trick you into getting in front of us. You can be behind us. We can still shoot you. Lamau.
Kick
Skill
W.
issue.
Kick W.
Which is something that doesn't sound super impressive on paper, but if you actually know shit about planes, like, how the fuck? Because the thing about a fighter plane is all their sensors are pointed forwards, usually.
Uh-huh.
Which means the Americans have, modern planes have sensors backwards specifically so they can shoot missiles behind them.
Based. Oh.
Which also means the missiles have to be able to come off the racks in a way that they turn around. Because all the missiles are obviously loaded and pointed forwards.
They have an auto turn mechanism.
Yeah. Oh, the F-35 can't dogfight. No, sure, it can't turn very well, but it can shoot in basically every direction. It doesn't have to.
Omnidirectional missiles.
Omnidirectional missiles on a plane.
Magic missile.
Skill issue detected.
Magic missile.
Anyway.
I'm a wizard, bitch. Fireball.
Anyway. It's wizard time, motherfuckers! Fireball!
And then the wizard
Oh, so many
wizarded all over the place.
Hold on, I think I have saved a thing that's wizard. Anyway. Anyway, back to Europe.
Yes, what about
Oh.
us?
Where it appears Putin has set a deadline to retake, the territory in Kursk.
GG. He won't get it. Hopefully.
That being presumably when Trump comes into office and tries to force a negotiation. Because the Russian forces have begun conducting wave attacks in Kursk with a frequency that in some places is reportedly every 10 minutes.
Is he
Oh,
mad?
boy.
Okay, yeah, no, he is mad. Never mind. Yeah, he is. He's crazy. Yeah, but he has hit a new one, new level. Okay. I'm feeling so sorry for those Russian soldiers which are forced into this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry for everyone.
It's. Yeah, of course, everyone in general. Yeah. but
Naturally.
they get hated. They get. Oh my god. It's. Just shows how much damage a government can do,
Russia...
especially if it's just one person.
To be fair, these are like small attacks of like one squad of guys, with like one squad of guys every 10 minutes. So there's a reason, as I list here, Russia is nearly up to 2,000 casualties a day. That's killed, wounded, and missing and captured.
Doesn't look good for them.
It's basically the same tactic they've had forever. Just send more people.
Yes.
Eventually they'll get worn down.
Yes, eventually they'll run out of bullets. Is basically their plan. To put in perspective how bad it is,
Mm-hmm.
recently Russia hit their casualty rate such that in 2 days of their special military operation, they suffered more casualties than America suffered in 20 years in Afghanistan.
Okay, that is insane.
Russia moment.
That's
In
so much
2 days,
never been-
Russia took more casualty than America did in 20 years. Granted, the scale and intensity of the conflict is wildly different, but still.
At least 5. You know what I mean? The difference should have been only 5 years, not 20.
20
Yeah.
is just insane. Honestly, like.
Russia is
That's
engaged
ridiculous.
in a full-on war of attrition in the year of our Lord 2024. And the Russian economy does not like it. In other news, Russia accidentally slammed a Shahed drone into one of their own apartment buildings.
Now they actually start friendly fire. Okay, I guess they won.
By the way, I like to point out, this wasn't a Ukrainian-occupied city in the Kursk region, which the Russians are striking. No, this was just a Russian city. This was like Belgrade or something. They just flat out had one of their kamikaze drones run into one of their own buildings.
There are people in these buildings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And they just think, nah, fuck it. Risk everything. Yeah, perfect proof that the government doesn't care about its people. Just only about its power.
Speaking of, Russian internal refugees from Ukraine-occupied Russia staged a pseudo-protest about their government's lack of support for them. I say pseudo-protest because protesting in Russia is like, not
Yeah.
allowed. They like came out and were like complaining in front of a camera. Mostly the women and the elderly women, because any men who were there would be acquired for frontline action, presumably, as has happened before. In other news, as a testament to the strength of the Russian government, Russia is apparently released a report saying their plan is to shrink their government's workforce by 10%.
And naturally, they're going to do that through the only means they know: murder.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not, but
Of course.
Who knows? Who knows? Honestly, when it comes to Russia,
Potentially.
I take all the chances.
Speaking of, though, Ukraine managed to assassinate the commander of the Russian Black Sea Fleet's missile ships through the old reliable method of applying IED to staff guard.
Woo! Now it's starting. Okay.
IED?
So his staff guard just improvised explosive device.
Ah. Okay.
They blew up his staff car.
Ukraine ain't playing anymore.
They just blew up his car in the middle of Sebastopol.
I mean, good.
This was the guy in charge of the missile ships, who are the ones who just go out and like, you know what'd be funny? There's a city over there, let's throw missiles at it. For the funny.
Damn,
that
man
guy?
got... Man,
Blew him up.
damn, man got what he deserved.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, in other news, there's a video I saw of a bunch of Russian soldiers rioting in their barracks in Novorossiysk. I don't know how to pronounce that. A bunch of Russian soldiers in their barracks were basically just riding around smashing shit because they didn't want to be deployed to the front line. So presumably they were sent straight into a frontal assault and are presumably all dead right now.
Ah,
Great!
okay, but why that's starting? Okay.
Russian state media has reportedly given up hiding the collapse of the Russian property market.
Oh, so we at least have funded the property market now. Okay.
Quote, we need to see whether to support these regions or not. Deputy Prime Minister of Russia on the potential for bailouts. So basically some of these regions, like Russia's like, nah, we don't need to bail them out and like support them as their economy collapses. Why would we do that? And finally for the Russia segment this week, Russian oil refineries have begun to shut down and or reduce production due to
What?
financial unsustainability.
Isn't like that one of the strongest things even Russia has? The oil refineries.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Well,
they
let-
even
let-
start to shut
not their
down?
oil refineries,
Yeah.
their oil production, but they do have their
Yeah,
oil
okay.
refineries which have been having to do a lot of work because Ukraine kept blowing them up. And the ones that haven't been blowing that up yet are slowing down and stopping production because they have no money.
They're piss poor.
Well, let's just say
Because,
that
reminder,
Russia.
the Russian central bank's interest rate is 21%, which means their actual loans for like business loans are like 25% interest.
Man, I'm just waiting for Russia to collapse at this point because it's ridiculous how long.
Everyone's waiting for it. Let's be honest, everyone's waiting for it.
Yeah. Like functionally these are Great Depression levels of interest rates, okay? The economy does
Could
not
be
exist.
worse.
There's no economy.
There has been footage of for a while, it's been known North Korea's been sending Russia ammunition. We've got seen
Okay,
sending
so-
them artillery guns as well. North Korea is not just supplying Russia ammunition anymore; they're actually supplying them weapons.
Okay, now it's starting to get very ridiculous. So North Korea supplies Russia. To say this is
I-
insane.
It feels like it's the world upside down.
Yeah.
I would like to point out what this is once again, the Russian Federation inhabits the corpse of the Soviet Union. And it is very much a rotten corpse.
Yep. And it has been running for a good while now.
Yeah.
It's just like how blender is still there for display.
Yep.
I forget that's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
the
take
thing.
them out, they replace any rotting parts with wax, and they set them out back out again.
I'm surprised they
Yeah,
haven't
progress,
fucking.
apparently.
I'm surprised they haven't fucking mummified yet. Mummified
No,
him.
they mummified
I
him.
mean, they did heavily embalm him.
They heavily involved him, and they're not mummifying him like a traditional like Egyptian mummification kind of thing. But he is still very heavily modified and replaced with wax. Like there's not much of Lenin left.
Wax.
To be fair, he's been dead for 100 years.
Yeah.
True.
And then he died.
They're
And
still holding on to him.
he left
after
us
100
movie
years.
to two of the most incompetent people on Earth.
And
I think he
that's
left
what
it to
all the
somebody
story goes.
competent, but then Joseph came in and assassinated
No, he specifically said, don't leave it to Stalin. But basically, the only other person who could possibly take over was Trotsky, who was
Yeah, Trotsky.
similar to Stalin, but incompetent. So, Stalin was stupid but competent. Trotsky was just incompetent. Like, for example, one of the things Trotsky tried to do when he was sent to go negotiate peace with the Germans, he just went there and said, "The war is over," and then left.
Ah!
And to the surprise of no one, the Germans were like, no. And eventually he got slapped by Lenin and told to go back and actually negotiate treaty. But when he found the Germans' treaty was now even worse, because in the interim, Ukraine had declared its independence from the Russian Empire and negotiated peace on their own.
Like, you go to Germany and they're like, you say, ah, the war is over, my man. Like, it doesn't exist. And then it just leaves. Ah,
Yeah,
perfect
he
negotiation.
actually tried that. It didn't go very well.
Shows up, tells war's over, leaves, doesn't explain further.
Yeah. Yeah. The Ukrainians were actually independent for a while before Stalin went in and tried to reconquer them. The first time we tried it didn't go very well.
And now we are back at the same
Yeah.
time. It's crazy, you know? I swear, like,
Yeah.
Russian politics and history always follows a line. Filled with
The
dictators.
thing is, though, when Stalin went to reconquer them, it's not. It's like, oh yeah, we need to bring you into the communist utopia. It's like, Ukraine established a communist government. They established two of them, two different ones. It's just they weren't the right kind of communism. They wanted to have things like elections in their own country. Also, one of the people involved in that whole kerfuffle was someone who's been nicknamed the Cossack Jack Sparrow.
I love that.
Oh,
Whose basically reaction to the whole shithole that was going on was like, alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna fight everyone by doing drive-bys.
God.
Because
Seems legit.
shit was wackio. Anyway, also in that time, the Czechoslovakians won a naval battle against the Bolsheviks in Russia, in Siberia.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
only
true.
Russians
It's also,
could
oh
lose.
my god, yeah.
Only the Russians could lose a naval battle to a landlocked country they don't border.
Yeah, honestly, that's just insane. Like, imagine
Because-
there's just some country, and they just get beaten by it.
Like, imagine if, during the American Civil War, for some reason there was a bunch of Paraguayans, going across the U.S., because for some reason they had to leave via San Francisco, and during it, they got into a naval battle with the Union on the Great Salt Lake and won. I mean, the reason for that, they had to do this, by the way, the Czechoslovak Legion had to do this, because these were Czechoslovak Legion. The Czechoslovak Legion was a group of Czechoslovakians who Czechoslovakia was obviously under Austria-Hungary. The Czechoslovakia didn't want to be, so the Czechoslovak Legion was a bunch of Czechoslovakians who were like, nah, I'm gonna fight for the Entente, to try and get a free Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
And after Russia pulled out of the war, they had to leave, and really the only way they could leave is like via Vladivostok, because obviously Germany and Austria-Hungary weren't exactly gonna let them leave that way. And so they left
Austria,
via
yeah.
Vladivostok.
Yeah, then it happens.
That's a whole kerfuffle that was very, very kind of amusing. Anyway, speaking of amusing, so as you may know, Alex Jones, the asshole himself,
The
got
one
a
and
class
only.
action lawsuit by the Sandy Hook family victims, and basically had to sell off everything he owned. As part of this, he had to sell off InfoWars. Now, the expectation was there was a rich, right-wing, rich asshole who the expectation was he was going to buy it and then keep Alex Jones on as a producer. Unfortunately for Alex Jones, something funny happened. Something hilarious happened.
Oh boy.
Several members of the Sandy Hook families who got a bunch of money off of Alex Jones as part of this teamed up and financed someone buying InfoWars at auction.
That someone.
And that someone was the Onion.
The Onion.
Defeated by the Onion.
Satirical news outlet.
My God.
The infamous satirical news outlet is now the proud owner of InfoWars.
As it shall
And
be.
the Onion has said their main goal is to make InfoWars into a parody of itself.
Let's go.
And people have been memeing this. I'm gonna post a selection of these that I've found.
God,
in
is
images.
it beautiful?
It is glorious. The Onion put out both an official statement and they put out an Onion article on it. Where they made satire of themselves buying InfoWars.
That's how you buy a company.
Yep.
There was someone redid the InfoWars logo to have the Onion logo in place of the O. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just fucking hilarious.
Karma.
And apparently Fox News is very upset over this.
They should have bought it themselves if they were so pressed about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex Jones went and made a conspiracy theory about it.
Of course.
Because of course he did. Basically trying
There
to
is
claim
no
that
data
it was somehow
conspiracy
stolen.
theories. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course, you steal things at auctions. Yeah, that's how auctions work. Yeah.
Yeah. like
Mhm.
damn.
Sure. Sure.
Lamau.
So now the Onion is the proud owner of InfoWars. And now
Congratulations.
the real question, how the fuck are they gonna make satire of InfoWars? Because their
guess
plan
it's
is to
funny.
basically use InfoWars to make a satire of InfoWars. Apparently is their plan. How the fuck are they gonna do that? How are they gonna come up with something more ridiculous than what was actually on InfoWars?
Gay frogs!
Are they gonna go be like, oh yeah, we're no longer supporters of flat Earth, we're supporters of concave Earth.
What?
Oh, I see. They are all big brain and follow the teachings of Agartha.
What?
Which is real conspiracy, by the way.
It's a real concave Earth is real conspiracy. What?
Yeah, hollow Earth theory.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, concave Earth, not hollow Earth.
Oh, concave
okay.
Earth.
Like we're on the inside of the sphere. It is hollow Earth theory, but we're on the
Wait, I have to
inside.
Google this.
It's a meme.
Some
It's like a
people
meme
believe we-
conspiracy theory.
Some people believe the moon is a hologram.
Wait, it isn't. I always
Some people
believed as a
believe
child.
that the moon is hollow.
I always believed that the moon is made of cheese. Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah,
Actually.
no, the moon is hollow, and that's where all the Nazi scientists ran to hide.
Everybody knows that fruit bats are mammals.
You know
I
what?
don't
I'll
actually
believe.
like
I'll
the
believe that the moon is
movie.
made out of cheese. Just for my fucked up
fair.
narrative, I'll believe that the moon is made out of cheese.
funny.
There's a comedy movie from 2012 called Iron Sky, where it's the Nazis on the moon.
Yeah, I know it.
Shenaniganry, and there's a bit in it where it's like everyone literally everyone had secretly turned all their spacecraft into space warships, even though they weren't supposed to, except for Finland. It's like the
Why?
scene was like, who didn't do this? And it's literally just Finland raises their hand. And apparently in Finland that seems like, yeah!
Oh, Moon
They're the
Argentina.
only one who follows the rules.
Yeah, I found it. Iron Sky Finland Sea.
Drop it. Come keep it.
I want to get into pictures because this is an amusing scene.
Oh, great. Like they just expected it from Finland. Oh my god.
Okay, I was gonna say something.
Oh, and the other part of that scene is like the Americans are like, you broke your word. You broke yours. We always do that. That's just our thing. it's such good comedy satire. I should actually watch that movie at some point. Anyway.
You haven't?
No, I actually
Great,
have. That's like
great.
the one scene in that movie I've seen. Anyway, moving on to something depressing. We go to the land of Oregon, in the land of America, where a cyclist in Oregon got struck by an ambulance, then taken to hospital in said ambulance, which then proceeded to charge him $1,800 for the privilege.
They didn't even waive it for him when they're the ones at fault.
Like, this is just mugging with extra steps.
Yep.
And now he's
Cyclist.
suing.
Okay.
He's suing them over this, but like, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how ridiculous healthcare over there is. Like, that this is even possible. Oh my god.
My family had food poisoning. Real bad food poisoning this week.
Yeah.
We did not go to hospital.
You certainly didn't call an ambulance.
And, you know, and this sounds so crazy to an European, at least to me.
No, and to me
Because-
too. But it's just for me, it's depressing.
Yeah, it's depressing because, like, oh, you have food poisoning. Okay, that's something you would go to the hospital. You don't have to pay. Everything is alright. But in America, it's like you hear that you have to go to the hospital, and you're like, oh my god, no, please not. Please don't take me to the hospital. The bills are too high. It's
Bills
just
are too
insane.
high, and if you miss a day of work and you no call no show because you're in the hospital, there's a chance you might end up fired.
It's just so sad and ridiculous that this is how it works over there.
Getting sick in America will kill you.
Yup.
Sickness itself doesn't include the death bill.
Yup.
And then we are getting called a socialist, of course, because we have actually healthcare by some politicians. So yeah, let's go.
Some politicians are just so built into the Red Scare that the idea that taking care of each other and having healthcare accessible for citizens is communism, and it's fucking loud.
You know what makes that even worse? The group of politicians who that's most prevalent in is the Red Party.
Who is currently in office.
Well, they're not in office yet, but they're gonna be.
If good healthcare means I'm a communist, okay, then I'm a communist. Then I'm fine with it.
Speaking of, I don't think I put it in here, but fucking Doge.
What about Doge?
Uh,
Something happened?
apparently,
Well, Doge is already dead.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
no, the Doge
but-
dog is dead. However,
With the
Elon
coin.
has found yet another way to inflate his meme coin.
Okay.
Because he's apparently, the plan is that Trump's gonna make a department for him
No.
called the Department of Government Efficiency.
And
Or
it's
Doge.
DOGE.
Please not. No. 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 Bro, I live in a satire. I
Wait, this
believe
feels like a
I've stand on the
simulation.
wrong
This
timeline.
this is not real life. This does not feel
We
like
had-
real life.
This feels like dystopian fiction now.
Am I real? Am I actually a person? Is it just
No, none of us are real.
no?
Is
Honestly,
this
like
the
this is
real life?
Of course they're not real.
Bro,
We're just
Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from
Copyright strike.
reality.
Jimmy, you're gonna get stricken.
Oh, don't worry, it's not Nintendo.
Anyway, yeah. So as part of this, basically, their plan is.
Also,
the
my
government-
singing voice is trash. I'm never gonna get copyright stricken for that.
Proceed to get
supposedly-
compensating match.
Mostly their plan is, oh yeah, the government deficit is big, which to be fair, yes it is. So their plan is to basically just get rid of a bunch of quote unquote wasteful spending. And Fox News went on and like highlighted a bunch of this. So
Healthcare.
in the
Easy.
huge budgets of the United States government, Fox News in their quest to find wasteful things identified things in the thousands of dollars.
No,
Because
please don't tell me that.
that'll help the U.S. government's like billion-dollar deficit. Single year thousands of dollars in instances. It's
They're
like,
serious.
oh yeah, we and the thing is, even a lot of things I say aren't even waste. Like, oh yeah, they spent like $1,000 to fund a study in Ghana on seatbelts. Oh no, they spent like $1,000 to do science.
I
And
guess that's better.
Look for ways to improve seatbelts and helmets. Oh no.
Oh no,
Like, just 'cause you can't see
security.
the use for it doesn't mean it's wasteful. I think the best analogy for a lot of the stuff they're talking about is this. So the Americans will understand this. So the Department of Motor Vehicles. Many Americans have gone to the DMV, and if nothing else, you all have seen the meme about it in Zootopia, presumably.
I have not watched that movie.
Where it's like, oh yeah, the DMV out here. I'm sure you thought the DMV was operating at peak efficiency when the 2 people at the desk were servicing a line of 1,000 people, and you really need to go to the bathroom. But if you do, you need to go to the back of the line, and you've already been standing in this line for 3 hours, and you're almost at the counter, but technically it's really efficient because it doesn't cost the government a lot of money to run it.
That's depressing.
Also, as part of their plan to, like, you know, decrease the deficit, their plan is to cut taxes.
Cut taxes.
Also, like, the U.S. government as like a portion of like government spending as a proportion of GDP among like the quote unquote first world countries is already like the lowest. It's just that American taxes are just comically low, and also, it's like, oh yeah, government efficiency. What are we gonna cut? Well, definitely we're not gonna even touch the military's funding. If anything, we're gonna increase it.
Didn't they
Now.
spend like? Weren't they like super overcharged for soap dispensers at the Pentagon?
I don't fucking know.
Hold on, I know I saw a fucking article about it not too long ago.
Bro, I'm
Oh,
sure.
They don't
s-
ever wanna check. They don't-
The point is, it's like, oh yeah, we need to cut funding for things in the U.S. government so we can save money. So we're gonna cut like all the regulations for all the corporations and the environmental regulations and all that, because that'll save the government money. What do you mean cut money to the military? No, we need that.
No,
need all
but the oversight that the government has for spending needs to be looked at, because this article is from October 30th of this year. Air Force to overcharge 7,943% for hand soap dispensers.
Whoever signed that off definitely needs to be looked at for that.
The
But
Air
instead
Force
of-
overpaid $149,072 for checks, notes, hand soap dispensers, according to a new Pentagon watchdog report. More than 80 times the commercially available cost for soap dispensers for its C-17 Globemaster II aircraft.
Bruh.
The overall
This
function
is
of these soap
offensive.
dispensers is identical, whether used in a residential kitchen or bathroom, commercial restaurant bathrooms, or in an aircraft lavatory.
We live in a dystopia.
Whoever signed that off really needs to be looked at for that then, but the government watchdog is presumably doing that. Anyway,
Yeah, the Pentagon
Yeah.
watchdog examined 46 spare parts of the plane, including a soap dispenser. As part of the probe, investigators found that the Air Force overpaid about $1 million for the variety of parts. They had enough money to pay $1 million extra that they did not need to spend. Because how much
glorious
money
Defense
can you do?
Department dimma dollars shall not be touched. It's the policy of the government. Anyway, the other part of it too is like, oh yeah, Lamau. The other thing though, with a lot of the stuff with like people like, oh, the government spends so much money on the military. There's some people who think the movie Bradley Wars is actually a documentary.
I actually don't know that movie.
What this is what that movie is. It is a comedy that is a rough adaptation of a book written by a very delusional man. About it covers a topic that was a real topic, but the guy who wrote the book was someone who was involved with it and very clearly has no idea what the fuck he was doing. Because it's like one of the things they bring up in the movie and in his book, which was a real thing that happened. So basically, what this was is they were doing live fire tests on the American Bradley fighting vehicle, and in one of the tests, all the ammunition that was in the vehicle had all its gunpowder replaced with sand. And this guy's like, "Oh, it's fraud, it's fraudulent, they're cheating because it's not real gunpowder." It's like the whole point of the test is to get data on what happens, and if everything explodes, we can't get data.
A logical result,
So
yeah.
they replace the gunpowder with sand, so you can see what got hit when it gets hit, so you can get your data.
And they see
No, we're not.
that as a documentary. A comedy movie.
Yes, it's a comedy movie. It also changes some of the facts. Notably, it paints the person involved, whose book it's based on, in a much nicer light than in reality.
Bro, this is crazy, man.
It's a comedy basically making fun of basically the stuff you just mentioned, where it's the, oh yeah, the government and the budget and blah blah blah. But there's people who think it's like a real documentary on what actually happened. To put a perspective on this guy though, and the fact that he was just completely full of bullshit though, the army actually did end up making a vehicle to his specifications, and it was shit. But also one of the other things that happened, one of the changes they did actually implement, is they moved the vehicle's water storage to the center, so that if the vehicle got hit, the water tank would rupture and spill water everywhere to douse any flames. And he called it cheating.
This man was insane, I believe.
Yes.
Did he end up in an asylum or was he free?
He was offered a transfer to another department, which he claims forced him to retire.
Okay, this man was totally insane. Okay, good to know.
Okay, then.
And it's like one of his things like, oh, you can't resist anti-tank weapons. It's not supposed to. It's not a tank.
I guess he was an expert apparently after all this documentary.
Anyway, moving on to something amusing. The Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh boy.
Winter has come for the Cybertruck.
Good.
Winter has come for the Cybertruck, and As the incredible design that is the Tesla Cybertruck continues to impress us all. Uh,
Not in a good way,
where's
by
it?
the way.
So, I am getting a picture of the front of the Tesla Cybertruck that I'm gonna post in images. This is just a normal stock photo from Google that I found of the front of a Tesla Cybertruck. I would like you to take a look at the front of the Tesla Cybertruck, and I would like you to try and identify a problem with it specifically related to the winter.
Okay.
God damn it.
It's a Cybertruck. It's over.
I would like you to try and identify a design fault specifically relating to winter.
Is it that the
Hmm.
vents are low enough that snow would be
Yeah.
a hazard?
Well, no, the vents don't matter. The vents don't matter.
Okay.
Those are cosmetic.
I'm just shocked that this thing is real.
Is it that
Actually,
most of the windshield is glass and could collapse underneath the pressure of snow?
No,
does it have something to do with the wheels for some reason?
it's not with the wheels.
Okay.
It would be cold inside.
Nope.
I have no idea about
It's
cars. I'm
specifically the
absolutely
front.
lost.
There's Where are the headlights?
They're down there. They're like in this little.
You're getting close, Mina.
Okay, true. Actually, they could be blockaded by snow, don't they?
Yes, Darius has it. Right in front of the headlights, you'll notice there's a little shelf there that can collect snow. Now,
Ooh.
on any normal car, you want to clean off your headlights before you go out in the snow. However, the Cybertruck, because it's got that shelf there, will collect snow as you drive. Meaning every so often you need to pull over to the side and clean it off again.
But that's a GG. The car is useless.
Because, like all Teslas, apparently the Cybertruck is designed for exactly 2 climates. San Francisco and Los Angeles.
You say Los Angeles?
Well, sometimes I say Los Angeles, but
Okay,
I said
thought
Los
it was
Angeles
made
for
as a joke.
dramatic effect. And because it has to be stupidly gringoified because Elon.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Elon
South
Musk.
African.
So this is just one of the many issues with the Cybertruck. Is when you drive it in the snow will accumulate on your headlights and block them.
Well, honestly, the best engineering I've seen from America. Joke. But yeah, overall, I just find it insane that such a car exists. Overall, like, look at this design. It feels so out of place.
It's a
Fucking
shitty design,
stupid.
man. A shitty motherfucker who can't accept no.
But I guess Trump is going to conquer the car industry with it, apparently.
Can we
To
deport
conquer the
Elon
German
Musk?
one. If you can
Please
deport
deport
him,
Elon. Please.
well, we don't want
He's
him,
an
so you have to go
immigrant
with
in a
Mexico.
country without a legal ability to do so. He can be deported, right?
Guess South
Can we
Africa
do that?
after all has